My coverage of Computex 2019 is sponsored by Techware, providing quality computer and gaming products. Let's go to another veteran in the mechanical keyboard world, good old Leopold, who have been a rock solid brand over the years, and in my opinion, one of the best. As shown before, they were with the Vortex people at the booth, but were towards the back. Let's start with the classic full-size FC900R. I have close to no footage of this stuff, but yeah. There's the FC900R PD, which is the one with their Step Sculpture 2 keycaps, which are pretty similar to Cherry profile caps, and our double shot PBT coming in a few different colorways. They also showed the OE edition, which has OEM type keycaps, so slightly taller than their Step Sculpture 2 caps. A step down in size is the FC980M, which is their compact full size, or kind of like an 1800 layout. I've reviewed this on the channel and I absolutely love it, as you get most of the primary functionality with the numpad still there, but it's closer to the size of a 10 keyless board. And again, there's some really sweet colorways available. And of course, Leopold are like one of the only brands that isn't Topre to have actual Topre electrostatic capacitive key switches in their keyboards. One of them is the FC980C. It's a pretty costly board and not many people have it, but I'm always glad that they're offering an alternative for people who love the Topre typing experience. The FC750R is their classic 10 keyless line, again available in a bunch of different colorways, but nothing really new here except that there's an OE edition with the OEM profile keycaps. Going further down the line, we of course have their famous FC660s, which were some of the first 65% on the market. It's always been a great solid option with a great build and keycaps, just like their other models. The only thing with this is that the layout and keycap sizes is a bit different to what everyone else is going with now, since it was kind of before that time. So there's the 2U right shift, which is the same as a left, whereas most current compacts would use a 1.75U right shift, in which many keycap sets support. It actually reminded me of the new Ducky 65% and how people complained about the 2U right shift on that, but yeah, that's just how the board was and still is. There is also of course the FC660C, which is the Topre electrocapacitive version, which has served as a great alternative to the HHKB. And there was this guy, the FC660PT, which stands for Positive Touch or Positive Tactile I think. Now this one was something that I didn't expect and is another electrocapacitive keyboard, but it is not using Topre key switches. How you like a keyboard to feel is always personal, so I think for this one, while I personally enjoyed it, I feel that it won't impress a lot of people. After a bit of research, apparently this was a foil and foam keyboard, which traditionally aren't the best for longevity. Despite the name, it definitely was not much of a tactile key switch, as the bump was quite weak, weaker than the 45-gram Topre domes that they had on display, but it was still enjoyable for me personally, as it was quite light, had a cushioned bottom mount, and was quite silent. It had external springs for added weight, which you can also do with Topre keyboards, therefore you can take them away if you want a lighter experience. It did however use MX stems, so it has that going for it, but again the FC660 layout is a tad more difficult to cater to. Other than that, I didn't really get enough information to comment on more of the technical details. Depending on the price, it may be an option, but the FC660M and C are already great keyboards. And the other big announcement, each of the PD keyboards, so the FC900R, 980M, 750R and 660M, All now have a Bluetooth wireless version, which is amazing. There have been wireless mechs trickling into the market, but to get a wireless mech of Leopold stature, there hasn't really been much available, with the likes of Philco and Vimilo having just a few. But also the layouts we get, there's not many full-size wireless mechs, and there for sure isn't any wireless options for the FC980M layout, and the ever popular FC660 finally has a wireless version, which makes for a perfect portable mech to use with your tablet or laptop or whatever. I only picked up the FC660MBT and found a battery door on the bottom which housed two AAA batteries. So there's no internal rechargeable battery, which has its pros and cons. I think all of them didn't have a mounting plate as well, so I could see the PCB through the gaps between the keycaps, but that may just be because they're show samples. But yeah, super glad that they did this, because now we have that rock solid range of wireless mechs that I could potentially recommend. So that was all of Leopold stuff, but their mates Arcus was there as well. A while back I did review an Arcus keyboard and found that they were closely related to Leopold. They actually have way more stuff, being basically Leopold boards, but they brought their Quattro TKL, which has a track point. Arcus is primarily available in Japan, but it would be so awesome to see this in the European and Western markets, because I'd personally love a board like this. I use a ThinkPad and the track point every day, so yes, please. And that was Leopold and a bit of Arcus. Great keyboards as always, you can't do much better in the pre-built market, and they actually cover a decent range of layouts and form factors, colorways. They now have Bluetooth versions, and they're still providing their Topre boards if you slide that way. Big thanks again to Techwear for supporting my coverage of Computex 2019. More stuff to come, so stay tuned.